The quiet pause before change. There is a stage on every personal journey that can feel unusual and even uncomfortable. After a period where signs, patterns, or meaningful moments seem to appear often, there comes a sudden quiet. The repeating numbers stop showing up, the chance meetings fade, and even dreams feel less vivid. Many people think this quiet means they have gone off track, but in reality, it is a natural part of growth. Think of music. Before the strongest part of a song, there is often a pause. The pause is not the end of the music. Instead, it is the space that prepares listeners for the next movement. In the same way, the quiet pause in life is not a loss of connection but a preparation for change. During this time, the mind may want proof that progress is still happening. It is normal to feel doubt when visible signs are missing. But the pause is not a mistake. It is the moment where inner change gathers strength before showing in outer form. Recognizing this can help you remain calm, steady, and trusting. The quiet does not mean nothing is happening. It means something new is being prepared. Stillness is reorganization. When life feels quieter than usual, it can seem as if progress has slowed down or even stopped. However, this stillness is often a sign that something deeper is taking place, just as a room needs to be rearranged before it looks organized. Our inner and outer worlds sometimes go through a pause so that new patterns can settle into place. In these moments, it is easy to think that nothing is happening. Yet silence is often an important part of the process. It allows for rebalancing and restructuring, even if the changes are not visible right away. In many areas of science and psychology, we see that systems naturally pass through phases of rest or reset before reaching a new level of balance. Instead of viewing stillness as absence, it can be seen as preparation. It gives space for ideas, habits, and emotions to align with the direction you are moving toward. The pause is not wasted time. It is the foundation being set for the next stage, so when life feels quieter and signs seem to slow down, it may be helpful to remember that this silence is not an ending. It is the stage where reorganization begins. Uncertainty equals possibility. There are times when life feels uncertain. The usual signs that guided you may pause and the path ahead may not look clear. At first, this can feel uncomfortable because the human mind is trained to seek stability and clear outcomes. However, uncertainty does not mean failure or that nothing is happening. In fact, it can be the stage where the most possibilities exist. In science, uncertainty is often seen as a space of potential. A system does not move directly from one state to another. It first passes through a phase where many different outcomes are still possible. This is not chaos. It is flexibility. In the same way, when your life feels uncertain, it can be a moment where different directions are open, waiting to be chosen. Learning to stay calm in uncertainty is important. Instead of rushing to fill the gap with old habits or fears, you can use this stage to observe, reflect, and allow new options to appear. Uncertainty is not a sign of being lost. It is a reminder that the future is not fixed and that you have space to shape it. Possibility is hidden inside uncertainty. Why external signs may fade at the start of any personal journey. It is common to notice external reminders that feel meaningful, such as repeated patterns, helpful encounters, or small moments that seem to line up with your thoughts. These can bring encouragement and a sense of support. However, over time, these signs may become less frequent and the sudden quiet can feel confusing. Many people worry that they have lost progress, but this is not the case. When external signs fade, it may simply mean that you are being guided to rely less on outside confirmation and more on your own stability. In the beginning, signs act like training wheels on a bicycle, offering reassurance. But as you grow more confident, the support is gradually reduced so you can balance on your own. This phase is not about disconnection. It is about independence. By practicing trust in yourself without needing constant evidence, you strengthen your inner alignment. This helps your choices and emotions become more consistent, even when there are no visible reminders. The fading of signs is not a setback. It is a signal that you are ready to move forward with more confidence, guided from within rather than from outside clues. Emotional intensification is normal during times of inner growth or personal change. Emotions can sometimes feel stronger than usual. Moments of quiet or uncertainty may bring up feelings of restlessness, doubt, or even frustration. This does not mean you are moving backward. It is often a natural response when old patterns are shifting and new ones are still forming. Think of it like exercising a new muscle. At first, the effort can feel uncomfortable, and the body reacts with tension. In a similar way, when the mind and emotions adjust to change, they may react more intensely. This is not a sign of weakness, but a part of the adjustment process. Instead of resisting these emotions, it can be helpful to observe them. By noticing feelings without immediately judging them, you create space for understanding. Often, strong emotions highlight areas that need attention, healing, or balance. They act as signals, showing where inner growth is still unfolding. With time, these emotional waves tend to settle, and a deeper calm follows. Recognizing that emotional intensity is normal can prevent unnecessary worry. It is simply the mind and heart working together to support your development and prepare you for the next stage. Challenges as reflection, not punishment. One of the most important qualities during times of change is patience. When signs become quiet or progress feels slower, it is easy to believe that nothing meaningful is happening. Yet just as seeds take time beneath the soil before sprouting, growth often occurs quietly before it can be seen on the surface. Patience is not about doing nothing. It is about allowing the right amount of time for natural processes to unfold. In learning, relationships, and personal growth, results do not appear instantly. Small adjustments are happening in the background, and they need space to develop fully. By practicing patience, you create stability in your thoughts and emotions. Instead of rushing or forcing outcomes, you learn to trust that steady effort will bring results at the right moment. This does not mean being passive. It means continuing your actions with calmness, without being controlled by pressure or impatience. When you look back later, you often realize that the quiet, patient stages were some of the most important. They provided the foundation for lasting growth. Patience, therefore, is not just waiting. It is an active practice of trust, balance, and steady commitment to your path. Stabilizing the new state. The final stage of a quiet phase is integration. This is when the lessons, experiences, and changes you have been moving through begin to settle into daily life. At first, growth may feel separate, something you reflect on during certain moments. But with time, it becomes part of how you naturally think, act, and respond. Integration means that progress is no longer only an idea. It becomes a lived practice. For example, patience may start showing in your conversations, or resilience may appear in how you handle challenges. These shifts often happen gradually without dramatic signs, and that is what makes them lasting. This stage can feel ordinary, but that simplicity is its strength. Real growth does not always arrive with clear signals. Instead, it blends into your life so smoothly that you may not notice how much you have changed until you look back. Recognizing integration helps reduce the need for constant external proof. You begin to trust your own actions and values more deeply. The journey then feels less about searching and more about living in alignment. Integration is the quiet confirmation that growth has taken root and is now a natural part of who you are.